from the first, maybe second episode finally, we've got a name. Welcome to Let's Be Gamers.
Why not?
Why not? We're going to talk about something a little different. You heard us talking about Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, and talking about Castlevania, but Dave, I've got a riddle for you. When I do, what do you think of?
I think of a very fat man riding a bike through the streets of New York City.
Do 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 dun 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 dun.
And of course, the hoodie.
Yep.
Pulled tight.
Pink hoodie. Because even with Doc Lewis and a pink hoodie, you're still a man. That's right, folks. We're talking about Punch Out. And we're not talking about the Wii Punch Out. That's much later.
No. We're going into the Wayback Machine right after the dog funk out of it. Little Febreze in the Wayback.
Now let's steer it back to 1986. No. Let's go a little further, though. 1983. Wireframes. 2 split screens.
And more racism than the Ku Klux Klan knows what to do with.
That's right. Punch Out! Here we come. Punch Out, developed by R&D number 3. Yeah, that's right. R&D number 3. Designed by Genyo Takeda, Makoto Wada. And, believe it or not, folks, Miyamoto had nothing to do with Punch Out. Sports were not his realm.
Nope.
Yeah, Miyamoto was, at this time, probably still a research assistant, if I can imagine, right? 83, 84?
No, because,
He wasn't up in the upper echelons yet.
no, he hadn't quite, hit it big with Super Mario Brothers yet, but he was slowly making his name.
He was.
He was not the #1 visionary of Nintendo yet, but he was involved in creative.
Exactly. So this was all Genyo Takeda's baby. Believe it or not. And in fact, Genyo Takeda and his crew basically developed something in the arcade, the split screen system. Stats on top, fight on bottom. And as Dave pointed out, more racism than you could shake at a Klan rally or a Tea Party meeting. Take your choice.
Yep, old men in fishing vests got nothing on Punch Out.
Because with such names as Pasta, Vodka Drunkinski, and making Piston Hurricane look like a stereotypical, I ain't going that far.
Allegedly Cuban, according to the
according to the
couple sequels down in.
We're not quite sure. We're not going to ask. We're not going to, steer.
He is a bit more tanned than I am. Let's just put it that way.
And yes, they really did. And to top it all off, they made a sequel, Super Punch Out. Not the Super Punch Out you're thinking of.
Yes, there was a arcade Super Punch Out.
With a white, stereotypical tan muscle man who called himself Super Macho Man.
No relation to Randy. May he rest in peace. Also, Dragon Shot.
Yep.
Yes.
He will backhand you. He will spin kick you.
He will bucktooth me no likey you so hard you will think Fu Manchu is politically correct. And of course, our favorite knucklehead, Bear Hugger.
Need a
Need a
hug?
hug?
Yes, Canadians, you got it. You got it a lot better than the rest of the world because all of you are so goddamn nice.
Yep.
So, what could they do to capitalize on lightning in a bottle? Well, easy. Let's
Poured
bring it.
it.
Yep. Let's port it to our Famicom. Wait,
Because,
wait,
yes,
wait.
folks, believe it or not, way back in the day, Nintendo, well, way back in the day, Nintendo made Hanafuda cards. But when they first got, they actually did focus on arcade games.
And there were
This
some
is
damn good
where
ones.
no Super and no Mushrooms yet Mario Brothers, and a little something you may have heard of called Donkey Kong came about, as well as Punch Out, in which, unlike the port that most of us played and believed is where this franchise started for a while, Punch Out was an arcade and had your protagonist as a wireframe that you looked through when you boxed.
Up the left. Up the left. Right. 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 Uppercut. Body
Subscribe to
blow.
Nintendo Fun Club today.
That wasn't in there yet. Now, here's your
True, that
first.
was in the NES port.
And Punch Out was a first in America. Would you like to guess how it was a first? We got the port first. Yes, October. The Japanese realized that American more receptive to boxing than they were. So they released it a month before they released it in their own country because
Yep.
they wanted to see how the American audience received it. But, but, Takeda had a coup, believe it or not.
Cool, cool.
Minoru Arakawa, the former president of Nintendo of America, one of the most influential men along with Howard Lincoln in Nintendo of America.
Yeah,
Surprise!
as in if Arakawa-san did not think this would be a fun game, you didn't make that game. In fact, if you pitch one too many games that he doesn't like, you need to go ask Sega of America if they'll give you a job.
Or you can just go stare at a window. No, go stare.
No, go stare. You go
You know,
stare until you realize why we make Luigi green.
so
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
he did a test run, the gold version. The gold version,
Yes.
the gold version was given to anyone that won the Nintendo World Grand Prix. That's why you don't see very many of those. And if you do find those on eBay, those are super rare.
Yeah. Those are, you're going to sell your house and a couple of your kids to win that auction.
You are. Now, Arakawa-san
No, we
attended.
at Let's Be Gamer do not endorse actually selling your children, as this is illegal in most countries and is immoral in the rest of them. Please do not sell your children, especially don't tell the judge we told you to.
Because we will testify that this is what we
You're
said.
dumb.
Now, Arakawa-san did something revolutionary before EA. Celebrity endorsement.
Oh. I thought you were going
Arakawa's
to say he released a horrible, glitchy version on day one and then promised a patch later.
no, no, no. Nintendo, I think they kill people when they release crappy patches. Actually, I wonder sometimes. Anyway, he attended a boxing
At least the
match.
first party.
Yeah, he attended a boxing match with a young fighter from Catskill, New York named Mike Tyson. He was so astonished with the athlete's power and skill that he wanted to use his likeness in an upcoming port of Punch-Out that he released. And would you like to guess, Dave, how much he was paid over 3 years? Per year, of course.
I'm pretty sure it was a lot of money because I'm very thrilled to be in a video game, but I, Mr. King says I owe him a lot of money.
Mike Tyson was paid $50,000 per year for the years that they used his likeness.
Yeah. And
I would
again,
like,
this was before the days of voice acting. It's not
and
like he didn't sit in a studio and have anything recorded. Hell, he didn't even have to hang out at Nintendo. All they
by
had
the
to do
way,
was take a picture of Mike and give it to the programmers.
by the way,
50,000 just to say, "Oh, sure, I'll show up in your video game."
and Mike to this
50,000 a year.
Mike to this day still loves the game. He does. He
Yes,
loves it. He said, I set the tone, which he did. Mike Tyson, not John Madden, set the tone for celebrity endorsements.
true. Mike just didn't get to show up in the sequels
Right. For good
because
reason.
Mike was a bad boy.
We'll discuss that later. And by the way, Arakawa-san didn't realize that 3 months later that he just signed the WBC heavyweight champion.
See, I was so excited about being in a video game. I just got really energetic when I got in the ring, and I knocked some people out, and they gave me a big gold belt, and it was really pretty.
So
and
Nintendo had a
And and,
perf.
and Mr. King said he doesn't know, he didn't know what happened to my money, but he's pretty sure he's got a new car, but that's just a coincidence.
What we're trying to tell everyone in the audience is that Don King is a piece of shit.
No. He's not a piece of shit. He's just a greedy promoter who takes advantage of the fact that boxing literally makes you brain damaged.
In
So you're
other
not going to
words,
read contracts very well.
he's the worst kind of racist to his own people, a greedy, opportunistic piece of.
I would not insult racists by associating them with Don King. Racists gave us the awesomeness of Punch Out.
Exactly. So, the core
Let us discuss the
gameplay.
characters.
The core gameplay of Punch Out, which will be demonstrated after our explanation. They didn't have the technology to replicate the arcade experience, nor were they going to try.
Why? If you know it's not going to work, why try?
So they invented something a little bit different. Little Mac will be this tall on your screen. His opponents are going to be this big.
Yes, no matter what height they are billed at in the game,
They're huge.
Little Mac looks like he should be fighting Hornswoggle.
They did this reason,
Yes, crossover humor, folks.
and they did this for a reason. One, wanted to show detail of every opponent, which is a good thing. You kind of want to.
Yes.
Two, they wanted to show Little Mac as the underdog because, well, he was. He really was.
That's
And,
kind of the point of the story mode of the game.
yeah, he is the underdog, 17 years old from the Bronx. And three, most importantly, a smaller frame, a smaller center of gravity. You can see what you're getting, as you should. So, I'm going to hit the start button on the screen. We're going to shut up, and you can just.
All right.
See what I mean with Glass Joe?
Oh, we do.
Ah, Glass Joe. There's an obvious joke, by the way. A boxing term, nonetheless. Which means the American translators got the humor of counterparts.
Yep.
Glass Joe, for those that don't understand boxing terminology, a glass jaw is someone that really can't take a punch. They get punched in the head, you might damn well think they're probably dead.
Pretty much.
And with Glass Joe, as you saw
Glass
there,
Joe.
he's not the hardest.
Everyone's favorite Frenchman.
And he's not the hardest opponent. There is a pattern to him. There's even a pattern you can do to beat him in maybe 15 seconds. That's up to you to figure it out. I am not quite the skilled person. If you saw, I
No.
probably did a standard knockout, but you know what? Just roll with it. I'm not a speed runner.
And I am not capable of getting very far in Punch Out.
Right. And as you can see, when you get further into the game, there's various in jokes. Von Kaiser with his 1940s boxing attire.
Don't forget the boots.
Zup das Boot.
Das Boot. Das Ass.
Yep.
Das Shove.
And then you get Piston Honda, which that one was lost in translation. Supposed to be Hondo, like the movie Hondo, but the American translators thought it'd be funny to associate something Japanese, the Honda, with one of the fighters. So that was good old American racism.
Kind of merge the arcades Dragon Chan and Piston Hurricane, neither of which appeared in the game, in the NES port. But yes, the eyebrows.
Which?
Blink, blink, blink. Oh, you like my eyebrows? Okay. You don't see that. Don't see that either. Just watch the eyebrows.
Exactly.
Oh, you're dead. Sorry.
Yes. Piston Honda, which when he does his Piston Hurricane, yeah, which he proved to have more personality than they thought. And then you get the
Hey!
Don Flamenco.
Yes. I am Spanish. I fight the bulls. I make love to your women.
I very much love my pretty face. Ole!
Remember, folks, as you see throughout what I did to Glass Joe, remember there is one common thing in Punch Out. There are patterns.
Yes.
To
If you play the game enough and you are enough of a quick reflex twitch gamer, it is possible without cheating. And again, you can go on our buddy's YouTube and find videos proving this. You can beat anybody in this game without getting touched.
Mhm.
I can. But I'm
But
not
yeah,
much of
it's
a gamer.
you just have to remember patterns, and every boxer has a pattern. Glass Joe, just beat him like a pinball. Juan Kaiser, when the mustache curls, hit him. Piston Hundo.
Watch for the eyebrows. But moving on, because we do have a few more people. After Don Flamenco, you get probably the most memorable boxer in Punch Out after the protagonist, Little Mac. He who got tweaked and modified a bit in personality to star as one of the regular villains in Captain and the Game Master. King Hippo.
Yep, and for those that want to know his pattern, wait till he, then punch him.
Punch him in his big, 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 big
stomach.
gut.
Really big stomach. X marks the spot, by the way.
He's got a band-aid on his tum-tum because it's a mite sensitive.
Hit it hard.
And he will lose his shorts, causing him to have to reach down and grab them, giving you the ability to chain this until he falls down, goes boom. And trust me, given his size, he does go.
It is an instant knockout. So, after him, you get the Great.
Yes. From Mumbai. Great Tiger. He moves better than Great Khali.
A lot better. After that,
you get more coherent, but yeah.
Not really not. You get after that one of the most memorable characters.
Probably after King Hippo, the most memorable.
The Bold Bull.
I charge you like bull. And yes, if you get your timing right, you can
stop the bull
him
in the gut.
He is at full charge, and no matter what his health, he goes down. He get up the first time, but it is if you are patient and you can block his regular stuff or dodge it, and you hit that charge, you counter that charge, it is a instant mat hit.
So, after the Bald Bull, you get to revisit a few people.
True, because unfortunately the NES could not handle enough characters to fill out multiple fight circuits. So
they are swap sprites.
Not even swap sprites, are the same characters, just with the
same characters.
difficulty cranked up.
Yep, like Don Flamenco once again.
Piston.
Once again.
Bald Bull. And in between those, a new one, Soda Popinski. The Russian carbonated nightmare.
Everyone remember Vodka Dronkinski? This is
his slightly less alcoholic counterpart. Same character design, but instead of getting tipsy from potato liquor. He is simply hyped up on sugar water.
Sugar. We're not sure what's less offensive. And then,
Because he's
after,
still about 5 kinds of rage
crazy.
machine.
Yeah. And then, after all of that,
Mr.
you're like,
Sandman, give me a drink.
yes. Except his idea of a dream is, night, night, Mac. I don't want to face the big angry black man. Yep.
The may have been inspired by Joe Frazier in
Yep.
later games. The final opponent.
Mr. Sandman is your nightmare.
Yep.
Mr. Sandman will own your white boy ass. Many times.
Mr. Sandman will make you think you're fighting 90s Mike Tyson because after a couple punches from Sandman, you're going to go, yes, sir, I'm a bottom bunk.
Exactly. And then eating you, you'll just forget the bunk part. Now, after all those characters go through, you like totally get the predecessor
It's
to
all
Scott
about it's all about pumping iron in the sun and in and out, bitch.
Super Macho Man.
Yes, flamboyant personality would fit better with the Village People's macho than Randy Savage's macho.
Which, yes, folks, if everyone's wondering, is he based on a certain wrestler? Yes. A regular frickin' superstar.
But not a mass superstar. That's a different guy.
Yeah, that is. Yes, for those who've wondered, for you wrestling idiots like us, yes, Super Macho Man does have that Billy Graham influence. That little Hulk Hogan and Billy Graham that he throws barbell plates, he eats T-bone steaks,
Brother!
he's sweeter than a German chocolate cake.
And I'm gonna punch you until I'm pretty. Wait, how does that work? Trust me, it does.
Trust me, it does. It totally does,
And
dude.
if you don't believe me, watch me take your girlfriend home.
And yes,
And her sister, and her roommate,
roommates, and their best friend, and their friend down the road. Yeah,
and your mom. Wait, what?
That's right.
Damn it. Mom, quit being a whore.
So yeah,
Well, you're
there we
certainly
are.
not getting your boxing winnings. Aww.
And there we are. That is Super Nutshell. You beat all of those people, you win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then you get the
The dream match. With
against
Big
the
Mike.
man. Yep, the man himself, the Kid Dynamite, Iron Mike Tyson.
If you thought Mr. Sandman raped you,
Mike Tyson will rape you until you love him.
let me put it this way. Mike Tyson is one of those bonus opponents
That you don't
that
want as a bonus.
even today, if you're chatting about video games online and you say you've beat Mike Tyson, everybody's first reaction is, no,
Bullshit.
I have to see video of that because I don't believe I've never met somebody who beat Mike Tyson.
And you know something?
It's possible. I have seen video games doing it.
Which means Everyone gets to see a painful attempt at the end of the video of me getting my ass handed to me by Mike Tyson.
Because yes, these days you can go online and find a password that straight takes you straight to that fight.
But do
Even
you want to go?
even our buddy and occasional mentor, James Rolfe, and his buddies, Mike Matei and Bootsy, struggled in vain to get a definitive knockout on Iron Mike. All they could do was. Mike was the only one who could survive.
And even then, that's not much
James didn't even
survival.
try. He just accepts.
Yeah. So if you want to go all the way to the end of the game and try to cheat yourself of the experience, go ahead. But after Mike, you know, beats you up, kicks your kids in the testicles, makes you love him,
Takes your lunch money, knocks up your sister.
knocks up your best friend's wife and her sister.
Steals
Yeah.
your VCR, well, Blu-ray player.
Blu-ray player
Back
these
in the days,
days. Yeah.
Punch Out it would have been.
VCR.
Yeah,
Possibly Betamax, depends. But you know,
true. Some
don't.
people do insist that Betamax was superior.
In some ways, it was, but still. But folks, let's not understate the obvious. Mike Tyson's final, you know, him as the final opponent is your nightmare, but it was not to be. For Mike Tyson's license ran out after the 3 years.
Yeah, and due to
Many factors,
including him losing
getting
his title in a massively surprise loss to
Buster Douglas
Buster
in
Douglas.
In Japan of all places. So
Yes.
Nintendo saw the ass kicking live.
Yep. And in fact, they were actually in the process of making a spin-off called Power Punch 2, even though the original was not called Power Punch.
No, which was in Mike Tyson's Intergalactic Punch Out.
Yes.
Are we going to play that game? Oh fuck no.
Yeah. But
you want to see us cursing for 5.5 hours of video time?
yeah. But they actually did make the game. They kept the basic sprite. They just tweaked some of the facial features to avoid lawsuits. And changed his name to Mark Tyler, so the MT initials could still be used.
By the way, if you folks just want to absolutely...
That's how far they were into the developmental process on that game.
If you absolutely positively have to see this game, Larry Bundy Jr., go to his channel. He'll tell you all about it. And then he'll call you a fucking wanker for wanting to play this game.
Or worse, making him play this game.
Because you people really are fucking sadistic if you want to play this game. But, I digress.
Well, no, if you're putting yourself through it, that would be masochist.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you are masochistic. Yeah, you're right.
If you play it yourself. If you make other people play it, then you're a sadist.
You're a sadist, and possibly the CIA is recruiting.
Yes, folks, I do have to make that distinction because I do try to be an open-minded person that accepts various alternative lifestyles and tries to respectfully reference them.
But playing Power Punch 2, ain't nobody respecting you on that one. Just don't do it.
Just say you did it out of morbid curiosity and
be done with it.
And just hide it with your copy of the Ang Lee Hulk movie in your closet of shame.
However, the original Punch Out, they did replace Mike Tyson with Mr. Dream.
Who?
Mr. Dream operated about the same. He was just a white, slick-haired version.
Yep. Um,
Is Punch-Out one of those games that you should try to find to add to your gaming collection?
by all means.
Yes.
I am not a sports person. Um, but I will admit, my at the time of the NES's peak of popularity, uh, my best buddy had Punch Out, and we would play it pretty often at his house.
It's a fun game to get into. You don't have to be a sports fan. If you know your bless you. If you know your mnemonics, you can play Punch Out. If you understand that B button is your left, A button's your right, up and A, straight, straight, and the star button, that's all you need.
And try to remember that, well, yes, every character in the game is based off what even in the 80s were kind of awkward stereotypes. They did make fun of everybody, so you can't really call them racists.
There's racial parts of the game, but
There's-
everyone got it.
Exactly. It was. They're parodies, you know?
The French got it. The
French
Germans
got
got
it.
it.
The Canadians
Japanese.
got it. The Italians got it. The Russians got it. The
Spanish got it.
get it because America was represented by. Well, I mean, you could say Super Macho Man for the
Yeah, they made fun of the
style.
Muscle Beach mentality.
Yeah.
Like, totally, dude. They got black people, they got white people, they got the Turks, they got the Indians.
Japanese, they busted on themselves. You know?
If you guys want to debate on whether or not this game is racist, our friend Gaijin Goomba he's got a nice editorial about it.
Yes, and he further references the Wii version playthrough of our other buddies, the Grumps, because their commentary summed it up, slight spoilers of, on more than one occasion, as they commented, oh man, this guy's a horrible stereotype. Beep, beep, beep. I love him! He's my new favorite in this game!
And so everyone wonders, okay guys, on the original Punch-Out, who the heck's your favorite? My favorite, out of all of them, who has the most personality, is Piston Hondo.
I'd probably have to go with Bald Bull. I mean, Piston Hondo is good, but just something about that bull charge.
Yeah. Folks,
and not to mention the pointed head there. The I had Andre do this, and now my head is squished up like this on the top. You gotta love that look. You gotta feel for any guy that has to walk through life with a squish head, cone head. You know?
And also, for a humorous take of how his head is squished, watch him in the Wii Punch-Out when he headbutts the turnbuckle.
Yes.
That makes him twice as scary as he usually is, but you know what? Every character in the original Punch-Out had personality. Super Punch-Out had slight personality, and the Punch-Out Wii has a lot of personality. But we're talking about the origins of Punch-Out. As a collector, if you find it relatively reasonable price, yes, get it. If you find the version with Mr. Dream, get that too.
Because again, except for that last fight, it's the exact same game. There was just some licensing issues. And for your total trivia fact, for your obscure trivia fact, folks, yes, they did make a Super Nintendo sequel to Punch-Out. Yes, many years later, they made Wii Punch-Out. but they did make a spin-off game that was by the same people, Arm Wrestling, which featured a certain masked arm wrestler who, upon defeat, gets unmasked and is our buddy Bald Bull.
Ball, bull.
Yep.
Yep. Find that one. John Pio with Mamecade.
Yeah, that's a
another one
hard to
reference.
find game. But yes, if you can find it,
Play it. You will get frustrated as hell, but you play it.
yep.
And for God's sakes, if you see the gold version of Punch Out and you don't have substantial bankroll, do not sell blood, organs, or children. Let it be.
Yep.
Now, let's watch as Warrior Kitty.
Settles down for a nap.
Yep, she's done. She was
Yep.
done a long time ago with Doc Lewis.
Yep, poor Doc Lewis, your perennial coach, whose advice is often nonsensical, occasionally extremely subtle referential. But no matter what, hey, he's your buddy. And who's your buddy? Doc's your buddy.
And
Ourselves.
exactly. And now,
I will fight you over Mr. Goodbar.
I know you would. Watch the ending here as I get my ass handed to me by Mike Tyson and laugh accordingly.
Warrior
Next,
Kitty does not approve.
Warrior Kitty says you should dumbass.
Pretty much.
That's the show. We'll do better next time, except for Mike Tyson. There is no doing better.
No.
I love being on stage, but when I get time off, I take advantage of it. Is to help reduce my risk issue. That's why I take it's 2 shots a year. Probably is proven to help information and help increase
That's pretty good.